Really? Really, Memphis? Really? So, Rudy Gay is traded to Toronto. Haddadi, I think, going with him. I don't really care much for Haddadi. I know a lot of people in Memphis love Haddadi, so they're probably mad about that. But the fact is, this was a bad trade. It all around it was a bad trade. I understand we kind of need to get rid of him, but it's just why? Why did we have to do this trade for Ed Davis? Jose Calderon's not even coming to Memphis because we got Conley, Roten, Bayless. We don't need Calderon, so he's going to like Detroit, and we're getting Ed Davis from Toronto, and possibly I think Austin Day and Tayshaun Prince from Detroit. Why? What? What was the purpose of trading Wayne Ellington and Maurice Spaceman? What was the purpose? You're gonna trade them, Wayne Ellington and Maurice Space and Josh Selby, to get some cap space, so you can keep Rudy Gay and Rand in your starting five together. And then you're gonna trade Rudy? What was the purpose of the previous trade then? I spit, I know, goddamn. What was the purpose of that trade then? There was no purpose then. Ed Davis is not really much of a better player than Maurice Space. That's really not a... And we got Darrell Arthur. Darrell Arthur's starting to get there. You gotta realize he's trying to get back into his healthy state. And he's still probably coming off that injury, but... Like, why? I don't understand what... It's the fact that you did the previous trade for sending a future first or second round pick, Maurice Bates, Josh Selby, and Wayne Ellington to Cleveland for someone I have never heard of. I don't even know how to say his name. What was the purpose of that trade? And then you even do a crappier trade, trading Rudy to Toronto. What was the purpose of that? Why? What? This really upsets me. This beyond upsets me. If we were to get someone like Paul Pierce, if we were going to get like Paul Pierce from Boston, I guess I would still be upset, but it would be okay. But Tayshaun Prince, I understand he's a decent player, but he's not a great player. Neither is Rudy, but Rudy's better than Tayshaun Prince. It's not an upgrade, it's a downgrade. And Ed Davis, I don't, nobody watches Toronto. The only people that watch Toronto are Toronto fans, so I'm not. The last time I liked Toronto was when Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady were there. And while I do still like the Raptors, I don't watch them. It's the fact that, like I said, the previous trade made no sense if you're gonna make this trade. Like there's no purpose then. All you're doing is just saving up more money. That's all you're doing. So with this, what is your future then? Randolph, we don't know how long Randolph's gonna play at an All-Star level. Marc Gasol, it depends. He has a different kind of season. Mike Conley, I've never honestly been a true big fan of Conley. He's starting to prove me a little bit wrong this year, but still got to show me a little bit more. Tony Allen, great defense, but his offensive game is just poor. I don't know what. He's just a poor shooter. and then you throw in Tayshaun Prince that's probably going to be the starter. Like, and Tayshaun Prince, that's even worse. Tayshaun Prince has been in the NBA for a while, so he's probably close to retirement pretty soon. Not there yet, I don't think. I don't say, but getting there. While Rudy is still kind of young, but starting to get at his prime age. But this, this, I don't understand this trade. If y'all think this was a good trade for both teams, try to explain it to me because I don't see it. Because the only reason we did the previous trade of trading Wayne Ellington and Maurice Bates to Cleveland was the purpose of keeping Rudy and Zach and Mark and Tony and Conley together, the starting five intact. But then you do the trade. What what's the purpose? Like I said, I've said it a lot. I've said it probably a bunch of times now. What was the purpose of the other trade then? If you're gonna do that, if you were gonna just trade Rudy, why trade Ellington and Spates? Like why? Like it beyond blow my mind that the GM the front office at Memphis they seem to not know what they're doing. I understand it's because of the luxury tax, and if you're gonna buy a team, why and you have supposedly a bunch of money, why are you afraid of the luxury tax? And then throw in the fact that you did the trade. Okay, the luxury tax is not gonna hit you then, and why trade Rudy? Like I don't understand what they're doing. I don't think they even know what they're doing. It's just it's a stupid business trade. I'm sorry, but that's it's almost worse than Denver re-signing Nene and then trading him within the same year to Washington. Like it doesn't make sense for JaVale McGee nonetheless. But Nene's starting to he's well because he's having a lot of injury problems right now and he's pissing me off on my fantasy team. So, but I don't know. I honestly I hate this trade. I do not think it's a good trade. I think they could have did better. They probably could have got something from the Celtics probably. They said the Celtics, the Mavericks, and the Pistons were candidates for the third team because the main one was Toronto. I felt like if we're gonna get a close to retire old player sorta, what's the purpose of getting Prince when you have the chance of getting Paul Pierce? Like and I guess we really can't because what's the purpose? Because they got Avery Bradley and Rondo there at Boston. So although I think Bradley's a shooting guard, but he's playing point guard. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Boston's screwed though, but so is Memphis. I honestly thought this team can make a deep run into the playoffs because we had a good bench to start the season, but we get rid of some good bench players in Spates and Ellington, and then we get rid of a key piece for someone that's getting there in age in Tayshaun Prince. They're nowhere near close to making a deep run in the playoffs. If the season were to end right now, they would play the Warriors. Honestly, I believe they would get swept by the Warriors. I'm sorry, but doing that trade just makes it them not a great team anymore because they were getting there to being great. They were really good, but getting great. Now they're just okay, probably good, not great or really good. It's I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm running out of words because it, it's just such a stupid trade. And the fact I don't. Honestly, that hurts the franchise and it hurts the fans too. Honestly, because if we go back to being mediocre again, it's gonna be kind of like how the stadium or the arena was before they started making that playoff run when they beat the San Antonio Spurs when it started to get packed. Because I remember that year, I think it was 2010, when they beat the Spurs in the playoffs. The beginning, their first game, their first home game, nobody was there. No, rarely anybody was there. It was nowhere near packed. But with that team being what it was, it filled seats at FedEx Forum. But this it's going to cause some problems for the team. It really is. I guess it's just a wait and see process to see what happens and see if Tayshaun Prince can do something. But honestly, they went from being a possible title contender to probably trying to survive just to get out of the first round. Because with that, you could have had a chance to beat the Clippers, which we probably should have beat last year. You look at the Clippers, you look at the Thunder. Who out of those two teams are you even going to beat them? No, you're not going to beat the Thunder. You're not going to beat the Clippers. You might as well not even beat the Spurs now. It's just that simple now. It's just I'm sorry, but it's to that point where it's just like, why are they doing this? I just don't understand. I'm just gonna end it off here. I'm running out of words because it like I said, it's just a stupid trade. It really is. Memphis fans in particular, get ready because we're probably gonna be back to being mediocre again.